All right, so Texans made an interesting hire. They hired Nick Kray as their chief of staff. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know much about Nick Kray, but one thing I do know has me intrigued by this move. Just a little bio on Nick Kray. It is the Locker Room, number one source for daily Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 Central on Sports Radio 610, the home of the Houston Texans. We'll keep you as close to this team as possible. Here's the bio on Nick Kray. Joined the San Francisco 49ers after serving as assistant director of football operations at NC State for 2 seasons. Before his time at NC State, Kray was director of football ops and player development at Ball State University. Also spent time as director of football operations at Yale University, as an offensive and special assistant at Villanova, and as a defensive ends and defensive quality control coach at Eastern Illinois. He's a native of Glendale Heights, Illinois, played collegiately as a defensive lineman at Eastern Illinois, where he was a member of 2 Ohio Valley Conference championship squads and 3 football championships and subdivision playoff teams. Blah, 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 blah. Here's what you need to know about Nick Kray that might get you excited or intrigued about this hire. I don't know what he's going to do. It seems like he can do a lot of things. He's got the coaching background. He's got the player background. He was the 49ers chief of staff, named that for 2 years ago after spending 4 seasons as an administrative assistant to Kyle Shanahan. But you didn't know who he was, but you actually did, because this is Nick Kray's finest work. You remember the 49ers entrance as they strolled into Jerry World, beat the Cowboys in the 2021 playoffs. The man with the boombox. You're about to see him walk out the door, a little Kodak Black playing, Bill Goldberg style. Knock on the door, Goldberg style, Goldberg chants. Here we go. A knock on it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There's the man right there with that red box on his shoulder. Look out. Look out. Here he comes. Look at Debo getting excited. Look at Trent Williams. Look at the 49ers coming through. Best entrance in all of sports. Nick Kray right there. That's the man right there. Holding the box. Holding that box right there. Look at that. That damn sure ain't football time in Houston. That damn sure ain't football time in Houston. That ain't no Kray Walker. Coming out there. Look at Trent Williams. Ready to go. Look at Debo Samuel. Ready to go. Look at Nick Kray. That strength right there. So that's what the Texans did. They hired the man that carried the box. Sign me up for it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know what he's going to bring to the table. It does seem like there's a lot of skills. They call him DJ Kray. Probably going to control the music a little bit, but the Texans are going outside the box. We've gone from hiring guys just because they read a few Bible verses to Tom Brady and making them head of football, to bringing in a guy who Trent Williams likes, who a lot of the 49ers players like. And I get it. You got to have substance to have swag. I understand. If you're a 2-win team and you're coming out of the locker room with a boombox and stuff, it's going to get old really, really fast. But sometimes when you're open to that type of thing and you have that type of swag and you have that type of guy in the building that can do multiple things, sometimes that allows guys with swag to actually want to play here. And sometimes it allows players to play well. We've seen the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan is obviously the straw that stirs the drink. They've obviously done a good job of compiling talent, but the whole feel of that team, they're loose on game day. They're physical. Nick Caserio has the assets to build the squad. They made this hire. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know much about him. Blah, 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 blah. He carried the boombox. Sign me up for it. It'll be really interesting to see what he does, what his impact is. I'm anticipating he's going to be playing a lot of music. He can do a lot of things, and the Texans seem to be open. So Swagger is at NRG. So who is Nick Kray? It's the guy that carried the boombox in San Francisco. And if you check out the Instagram, it seems like the players think a lot of him as well. I know he's on like a couple of Trent Williams Instagram lives and stuff. The Texans, whether it's the gear, whether it's the uniforms in a year or so, whether it's just the D'Amico Ryans vibe. D'Amico said he didn't want any energy vampires. He talked about not wanting energy vampires. This guy does not seem like an energy vampire. He seems like a guy that's going to bring some energy And I'm very intrigued to see what happens. We might never see the impact. He might not be able to coach anything. He might not know what he's doing. His only contribution might be just carrying a boombox one day. You know what? A+. Love the entrance. Love the excitement. Love the open-mindedness. Love thinking outside the box. And quite frankly, we've talked about Patriot South, Patriot South, Patriot South, Patriot South. If we got to become San Francisco South around here, it could be a lot worse. No matter what happens, though, just remember, we are all in this together. Let's attack Football Friday and enjoy the final weekend of the NFL season in style.